Hey everyone, this is Miss Time Bunny and I'm here to do a video today that's probably not going to make me very popular with some people. I'm probably going to get a lot of heat for this, but it's a case of Fallout New Vegas isn't my favourite Fallout game and I don't think it's as great as people make out. Now before you all throw a bitch fit in the comments and sort of start spamming the shit out of that dislike button, can you just hear me out? You know, I'm not here to just completely dismiss it and slag it off and be like, oh, it's a load of shit, you know. I do have sort of like my own personal reasons for why it's not my favourite game out of them. I don't hate it, it's just not my favourite and I don't really get why people are so like, oh my god, it's so great, you know. But remember, this is my own personal opinion. You're more than welcome to totally disagree with me and disregard my opinions and move on to the next video. That's perfectly fine. But it's just, don't just blindly hate, you know. It's just that I think story-wise, first of all, it's just Fallout New Vegas never sort of grabbed me the same way that the other games did, because it's like, in like sort of, yeah, okay, I've not played the Fallout 1 and 2 yet, but it's like, with the first Fallout, you know, you've grown up in this vault all your life, and everything's always been like cosy and great and cool, but then said vault has lost the ability to produce clean water, and basically everyone's going to die if you don't get this shit sorted. So you've obviously got that motivation of like, fuck, I need to get this done, otherwise everyone I care about, my entire life's going to be completely screwed over. So, and then with Fallout 3, you're, again, it's like you've obviously been born in a vault, it's basically been your life, yeah, your dad's raised you, everything's like, again, hunky-dory and cool, and then all of a sudden he just ups and leaves, and you're like, sort of like, what the fuck, what's going on, what the hell, you know, he's disappeared, security are after you for some reason, you're just like, wait, what? What? Why is everyone out to kill me, you know? So of course you then have to try and escape the vault with the help of your friend, and then you're off scouring the wasteland trying to find out what the hell happened to your dad and find out what's going on. You're like, what the hell? Why did you just up and go, you know? So it's that whole intrigue as to sort of like why he just upped and left suddenly like he did. And then obviously with Fallout 4, which is my personal favourite, so don't hate, you know, I just happen to really love it. It's like, obviously you're cryogenically frozen, and then it's like you're, like, spoilers, you're like defrosted basically, and you see your son get kidnapped and your other half get murdered in cold blood. Only for you then to be refrozen again, so you're stuck there like, what the fuck, I can't even do anything to help them, I'm stuck in my cryopod. And then when you eventually do get out, you're obviously trying to get vengeance for your murdered spouse and find out what frickin' heck happened to your kids. You're like, I just saw them get kidnapped, I don't know where they are, what's going on, why they've been kidnapped. And then of course you do eventually catch up with your son, who by this time is basically an old man, and you've obviously been stuck in your vault frozen for a heck of a lot longer than you thought, and you find out you only got out your cryopod because your son was like, oh, I'm just going to let you out for a curiosity and see what happens. It's like, fuck you, twat, you know, sort of kind of thing. So it's like all these different motivations for why you sort of like will feel whatever emotions. Whereas with New Vegas it was more of a, some bloke shoots you in the head, you then go and shoot him, and then that's about it really, you know. It's like, I don't give a fuck, you know. There was like, it was kind of like, I just didn't really care about the story. It was literally a case of, oh, some bloke tried to shoot me, so now I'm going to go and shoot him, basically, you know. That's kind of how it made me feel, you know. It's just like, you know, people get shot in the wasteland all the fucking time, you know. Get over yourself. You know, and then once, obviously, Benny's dead, that is literally it. There's no other sort of motivations for you to give a shit about, you know. So then you can go and find Benny and kill him off so bloody quick that it's like you're literally like, oh, is that it, you know. So I can sort of get myself to sort of like the New Vegas Strip to kill him within probably about a couple of hours, you know, and it's just like, oh, is that it? You know, oh, okay, I won't play anymore then, sort of thing, you know. I mean, I know people are going to argue there's a whole, oh, well, you can join, like, Mr. House or Yes Man or whichever faction to then take over, but even then I'm like, I don't really care, to be honest. Like, once obviously that's sort of like what I call the main motivation has like been dealt with, I'm like, well, I don't care about anything else now, you know. And also another point I find is just a lot of the quests, well, as I've obviously just mentioned, a lot of the quests / storyline of New Vegas is just like a bit bland and boring. Like, for me, it's like, obviously I've done some of the side quests and I'm a bit like, I think apart from the exception of when you're working for the Atomic Wrangler, getting them like sort of some new sex workers, which I found like really amusing for some weird reason. Apart from that side quest, I think no other side quests have stood out for me. I'm just a bit like, It's like fetch this, kill that person, collect a debt off them. It's like, nah. Whereas, you know, the other games have had like side quests that have been more entertaining. Like with Fallout 4, there was the whole last voyage of the USS Constitution, which is basically a ship that's stuck on top of a building, but it's basically completely run by robots, and it's just like, what? What is this madness? You know, and then there's the whole Cabot House related quests. Yeah, where you sort of, there's this family whose father has been like locked away in like a containment facility because he's got this artifact attached to him and it's given him like crazy powers, and they're like basically scared to death of him, you know, essentially. And then also another one I liked was the whole kid in the fridge one, where you find Billy, the little ghoul kid, who's basically been trapped in this fridge for a couple of 100 years apparently. Because, yeah, logic, he would totally survive that long, you know. But yeah, he's been trapped in this fridge, and it's like you're just randomly walking along, and you just hear this knocking like, help, get me out, you know, you're like, well, fucking fridge is talking, you know. And there's the whole quest of obviously getting him back home to his family, and like, then there's like this, I think this like, kind of like slaver type dude who wants the kid, you know, it's like, it's just so, it's a bit random, but I like it, you know. And then in Fallout 3, you've got the Mothership Seater and the Pit DLCs, which I personally really liked, because the Seater one was just, again, completely mad and just completely out of left field. And you're just wandering around like, what the bloody hell? This is just like completely mad. Why am I doing this? This is Fallout. Why am I questioning it? But, yeah. So it was just very silly, but for me personally, I found it quite amusing because I think it was just so random for Fallout anyway. And then obviously you got the Pit, which I thought was quite engaging and a bit dark because of some of the things you've got to do in it. But I sort of really got into it. I was just like, I'm actually really enjoying where this is going. You know, I really liked it. And oh yeah, characters, NPCs. Again, it was like, for me, I was just like, meh, towards a lot of the characters in that in Vegas. I mean, yeah, there's like some that was all quite interesting, and sort of like, I just thought, hey, this is kind of cool. I like kind of like the idea behind you. Like, you obviously got the Kings, who are completely convinced that like Elvis Presley was some sort of deity or god that like we worshipped. Bit like sort of say like Jesus or whatever else, you know, sort of whatever your religion. He was basically that kind of person, and like, so of course they're completely convinced that's what he was, like a god or deity. Whereas like obviously it was just a case of he was a very popular singer and actor. Well, predominantly singer, but he did a bit of acting. But yeah, they just completely misconstrue it, and they're just like, oh my god, you know, he was some sort of god, we must worship him, you know. And that's how they develop their game, which is like, I enjoyed that. I liked the idea behind them. That was a lot of fun, to be fair. And also I think the the White Glove Society, that was it. I couldn't think of their bloody names for a second then. You know, I sort of kind of liked them because they were kind of like, there was that little bit of intrigue behind them when they're trying to be like, oh no, we're not cannibalistic anymore like our ancestors. No, we don't do that anymore now, darling, you know. But then you basically find out it's a load of bullshit because some of them still are cannibalising people, you know. So I mean, yeah, that's sort of like, they're probably like a couple of the exceptions that spring to mind, but generally I think everyone else was a bit like, nah, don't give a shit, to be honest. Whereas, you know, sort of in Fallout 3 and 4, I think there was like a lot more people that like I was kind of intrigued by, and you know, I don't know, I think it's just I found people more interesting in those games rather than New Vegas. Oh, another person I just thought of that I did kind of like from New Vegas, and that was Jason Bright, the glowing ghoul, and his little sort of like little gang of followers, and also the followers of the apocalypse I liked as well. So yeah, I mean, there was some characters I liked in Vegas that, you know, I liked the idea behind, or I found them interesting, but I think compared to the other games, I didn't give as much of a shit about a lot of the characters, or sort of like the side quests that you get from them, things like that. So I think I was more near towards them than I was in other games. So, but again, just my opinion. You've got the right to disagree, I don't mind. Yeah. I think just the last point I wanted to make was, you know, okay, I don't get this problem so much now that I've been playing it on the Xbox One, but I know when I used to play it on the 360 and the PlayStation 3, the game would just freeze and crash to fuck, like, repeatedly. It was just so unstable. I think that's one of the big reasons I got put off the game originally, because it was just like, I was like, I do not get half this shit with Fallout 3, what's going on, you know? I mean, even like bigger channels than me, like Oxhorn for example, he even said in one of his videos that even now he has to mod the shit out of the game just to make it run vaguely stable. So, but I think he plays on PC, I think, so I don't know if that one's just more prone to problems. But I've just, as I said, I've noticed since I've been playing it like on the Xbox One, it has been better. I mean, yes, it is glitchy and buggy in places still, but I'm finding it's not crashing as much on me now, or freezing up as much as it did on the previous gen console, so I will give it that. It's not as bad in that respect as it has been, so. But yeah, I think it's just overall, for some reason, I just never got into New Vegas, and I'm still a bit bewildered as to why people are like, oh my god, it's like the best game ever, it blows all the others out the water, and it's just like, I mean, that's fine. I mean, if you really love it, then, you know, more power to you. I'm glad that you really enjoy it, you know, but it's just, I never did. And that's why I'm always so bewildered, like, people act like it's the dog's bollocks, you know, because I'm like, meh. If you give me good arguments as to why it's, like, a really, really good game, instead of going, like, just saying, like, oh, it's got a better story, or, oh, it's got better characters, it's like, yeah, but that's subjective. Saying something is better is just like, it's subjective. Just because you think something is or isn't good doesn't mean someone else is going to feel the same. For example, I mean, out of all of them, I prefer Fallout 4. You know, I think for me it goes sort of like Fallout 3 and 4, and then I think it kind of goes like, then like Fallout New Vegas. Fallout 76 I'm still kind of on the fence about. I'm still deciding whether I like it or not. But to be fair, you know, it's not, I'm not saying it's like a completely shit game, you know. I'm still kind of like, I think, playing it, getting used to it, and just sort of still making up my mind on that one at the moment, to be fair. But on a final note, regardless of what I feel about the games, can we all just agree that Brotherhood Tactics is a load of pants? Just a bit of a joke comment. Don't get angry, anyone who knows Brotherhood Tactics. I just like thought I'd just add that as a bit of a joke, because that game has a bit of a reputation for being pants, so I just thought I'd add that for a bit of a laugh. So, but I hope you enjoyed this. I hope people don't get like too angry at me about this, because it is a case of, like I said, you know, you have all the right in the world to prefer whatever Fallout game you like. You know, you can completely disregard my opinion. It is literally my opinion. You know, I'm not speaking for all Fallout fans here. If you like New Vegas, then, you know, great, that's brilliant. I'm glad you like it. And I'm not saying that to be sarky or take the piss. I'm honestly really glad if you do really like it. And you're obviously getting more enjoyment out of it than I ever did. So, but it's just me personally, I do like 3 and 4 better. You know, they're kind of like a joint first for me for like different reasons. I think Fallout 3 because it was the first one I ever played. And I think I had that sort of little bit of nostalgia for it, you know. Whereas Fallout 4, I just proper got into like the storyline and the characters, and people who know me will know that I'm way too obsessed with Nick Valentine to be healthy, but yeah, it's just, you know, you do you enjoy what you want, and just don't give a shit about what moany old farts like me have to say, to be fair. Okay, love you, bye. I hope you have fun, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.